is a great danger, huge danger. Because not only am I outspoken, and not only do I still have the stamina to go at this thing at the rate that I go at it, pushing 50. They're pissed because I won't break. That encourages people to do what? Keep trying.
Jaguar Wright has stepped forward boldly in a surprising turn of events that has caught media attention. Following Sean Diddy Combs' recent legal troubles and arrest, Wright has become a strong critic, accusing Oprah Winfrey of being part of a hidden plan to protect the music mogul. She claims Oprah's power goes beyond her fame and plays a role in covering up the controversy surrounding Diddy. With her bold accusations, Wright is challenging the public to think about power, fame, and accountability. As the story unfolds, all eyes are on Wright, who promises to reveal secrets that could shake the entertainment industry. She has begun sharing personal stories about Diddy's famous parties, exposing what really happened behind closed doors. Wright described extravagant gatherings filled with celebrities, but also troubling incidents that made her question the environment. These parties, filled with luxury, often masked darker activities. Wright openly shared her concerns, suggesting that fame and wealth come with a hidden price. Her bravery and honesty have inspired many as she sheds light on the disturbing realities within the industry.
You know that was going on in the world of Diddy.
He's a s***er. He's got guns, and he's got coded VHS tapes.
Is that something normal that happens in Hollywood?
Yeah.
Freak-offs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody know that. I've been saying it.
And then went on to discuss the treats offered at these gatherings as well as the reasons behind them.
Gay men have been using this for years. See, back in the day, if you went to a gay party or a gay rave, there were certain drugs that you would always find on hand. Viagra, ecstasy, Special K, and cocaine. Now see, the cocaine keep you up all night, but unfortunately, it gives you limp noodle. So that's why you have the Viagra. Now see, the ketamine, that's a horse tranquilizer, so that relaxes all your muscles. You wouldn't feel it then.
The recent arrest of Sean Diddy Combs has brought long-hidden issues into the spotlight. According to TMZ, the entertainment industry was shaken by shocking accusations from Diddy's ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, who alleged physical abuse during their relationship. These claims have brought to light problems that many suspected, but few dared to address openly. On a Monday night, Diddy was arrested by federal agents in New York. Homeland Security officials stormed a Midtown hotel where he was staying, carrying out the arrest swiftly, underscoring the seriousness of the allegations against him. This dramatic event has the potential to change how the public views Diddy and draw attention to troubling behavior that has been quietly discussed in the industry for years. The most troubling aspect is that many, including Cassie's own friends, had previously tried to expose these issues but were ignored. Now, with Diddy's arrest, the truth may finally come to light.
In the living room area, and she's there, and he was like, emotional singing, there you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember looking in his eyes, and I said to him, what did y'all do? Because I could see that she was really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her high before. And then he says, tell your girl she wants some birthday. And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me, and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to if she doesn't want to. He was upset, I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know. I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. I realized oh, this guy is dangerous.
Jaguar Wright has made bold claims that Oprah Winfrey is deeply entangled in the controversy surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and his alleged wrongdoings. These accusations have sparked interest and added to growing skepticism about Oprah's associations within the entertainment industry. Critics have long questioned Oprah's connections with controversial figures and her decision to promote certain individuals on her platform. One of the most notable examples is Oprah's past endorsement of John of God, a self-proclaimed spiritual healer who was later convicted of horrific crimes, including abusing hundreds of young girls and women. He was also implicated in running a trafficking ring, selling newborns for profit. Despite these grave allegations, Oprah's support of him has drawn sharp criticism, with many questioning her judgment and motives. Jaguar Wright argues that Oprah's past choices, such as promoting John of God, make it believable that she could support Diddy as well. According to Wright, Oprah's involvement could hinder justice in cases like Cassie Ventura's, as Oprah's influence might overshadow the voices of victims. Oprah's relationship with actress Monique has also fueled these concerns. Monique has publicly accused Oprah of siding with powerful Hollywood moguls to silence her, effectively blacklisting her during a crucial period in her career. This betrayal left a lasting impact, especially given the respect Monique once had for Oprah. Wright's allegations and the resurfacing of Oprah's contentious history highlight ongoing debates about power, accountability, and influence in the entertainment industry.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are. Where Oprah Winfrey and I have a problem is Oprah Winfrey called us up and she said my brother wanted to come on the show and talk about him molesting me, and he wanted to tell other parents how to look out for molesters. My brother Gerald is a charmer. So my mind thought was, because she said, do you want to come on? I said, I don't want nothing to do with that cat. I said, nigga, I know it's up to a scam, but people can change. And who am I to say he hasn't changed? It might really be different. So I don't want to get in the way of that. I just don't want nothing to do with it. She said, if you don't want me to have your brother on the show, I will cancel the show. No show will happen. But I wanted to call you up to see how you felt first. When I hung up that phone, brother, I looked at my husband, I said, that bitch is all right with me. That's a real...
She kept it
because she didn't have to call me up. She didn't have to say my brother was coming. She could have just ran with shit and let it happen. I dig her for that. Now I begin to see commercials with my brother, my mother, my father, and my other brother. Now, the reason why that means so much is because in the conversation we had about my brother, we then went deeper. And we began to talk about our relationships with our mothers and our fathers. And I shared my relationship with her about my mother, as she shared hers with me, which I will never repeat because she shared it with me about her mother and father. It might be something she shared with everybody, but wanted to make me feel special. I don't know. Nonetheless, it was in our moment. I shared with her that me and my mother was not talking. I shared with her we were in a really bad place. I shared with her I was hurt and, trying to figure this thing out. She never said my mother was coming on that show, because had Oprah Winfrey said, I'm gonna have your mother, I would have said, shut it down. I don't need the world seeing how greedy my mother is. Shut that down. That's one of the reasons why we don't communicate, because of my mother and father's greed. So if you had given me the opportunity, I would have said, I can't put my mother, that's still my mother. Right. Okay? Now here comes this show. And here comes the commercials. And now I'm starting to see my mother and my father and my other brother, who was my manager. We didn't discuss that, Oprah.
Wait, he was your manager and you went to Oprah?
Wasn't my manager at the time. By now I had already, fired him. So I'm watching this show, and I'm watching my father sit there, who was a strong alcoholic. I'm watching him drunk. I'm watching my mother be greedy. I'm watching my other brother, who was my manager, be greedy. I know my family. And I'm watching my brother who molested me sit on this stage, trying to paint this picture of I'm trying to be a help, but now I'm watching the scam As much as they keep talking, I'm seeing the scam take place. Well, when it was all said and done, Oprah Winfrey calls me. And in that moment, I was still stuck in, this is Oprah Winfrey. How do I say, you had my mother, my father, my other brother, and I'm stuck in that moment. And when we hung up that phone, my husband looked at me and said, what's wrong with you?
By aligning herself with certain business leaders instead of supporting Monique, Oprah Winfrey contributed to a culture that often silences dissent, particularly among Black women. Over the years, Oprah has been linked to various controversial figures, leading many to speculate that she intentionally associates with such individuals to maintain her influence and power. Critics argue that Oprah has a pattern of forming alliances that bolster her position, even when they come with significant ethical concerns. Her ties to figures like John of God, as well as her choices regarding Diddy and Monique, raise questions about her judgment and the motivations behind her endorsements. These relationships suggest a focus on consolidating power, even at the expense of integrity.
That's not what we made of. You know how you felt about that and how you feel about that. And you need to let that woman know, I don't care about a title and a position. That's not what you cut from. So it was my obligation to let Oprah Winfrey know how I really felt. Now I want you to understand something too. See, this is why me and Oprah Winfrey got a problem.
It's still there.
Until that woman says, let me apologize to you publicly, it'll be to the day I leave this earth. Because what you did was malicious, and it was intentional, and it was ugly.
If Oprah was watching this, what would you tell her?
I would say, Oprah Winfrey, you know what you need to do, and stop hiding behind what you call was negative comments, what you call, oh, I don't even deal with things like that, because what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
Let them know what you said, which is the reason why there's a problem, because she did actually confront.
Alfred Woodard had a Oscar party for the previous Black woman that won Oscars and for the Black woman that was nominated, and it was Lupita's turn that year. And she had had him all the other years, and I had declined. Just my schedule wouldn't let me do it, or, for whatever reason. It's like, no, thank you. But this year I said, okay. And Oprah Winfrey was going to be there. Now, keep in mind, I was trying to reach out to have this private conversation. No return calls, whatever number she did give, no longer work, just, however it went. I could not get to Oprah Winfrey. So I see her this night. And Alfred Woodard says to me, we want you to understand, Monique, when we go into the red room, you can say whatever's on your heart. Almost like there was a universal energy where this sister knew something needed to be said. I can't say it factually, but she said it to me a few times. Whatever you need to say, this is the place to say it. Whatever you need to say, this is the place to say it. So they were going around the room getting people's feelings on how they felt about when they got this Oscar. And it got to be my turn. And I really wasn't impressed with the Oscar. So I really didn't have anything to say to Lupita other than, baby, play it your way. This is your turn. So do it the way you want to do it. So you don't look back and say, I wish I would have. No one else can tell you how to do it, but you can do it your way, because it's your name that will be called. You're the nominee. And then I looked to Oprah Winfrey. And I said, you and I need to have this conversation. Why would you have my mother on your show?
This is from...
In front of everyone. So for all the women that were there, the one thing, people can say I'm loud, they can say I'm tactless, they can say I'm overbearing, as Oprah Winfrey has considered me, but what they've never said is she's a liar. Ain't nobody ever said Monique is lying. So for all them women that was there that night, they know exactly what was said. And I said to her, how could you have my mother on your show? That's not what we discussed. And you don't understand what I've had to walk through since you've had my mother on your show. See, I got to deal with women coming up to me in the Walmart saying, Monique, your mama ain't shit. I got to deal with that. Now I got to defend. They ain't lying, but I still got to defend it because that's my mother. Okay, Daddy, but that's the truth. But I still got to defend it. You don't understand what position you put me in doing that. So now this is my moment to talk to you. And what she did was took the cowardly way out. I won't call her a coward. I'll say it was cowardly, but it was okay. And she said, if you think I did something wrong, I want to apologize. And what my husband taught me a long time ago, an apology is not something that you think you need to give. If somebody else thinks you need to give it, it's what you feel. So she came off like Mother Earth that she is. If you think I did something wrong, no, Oprah, it ain't what I think. You did do something wrong. You maliciously, and you had full intentions of having my parents on your show and not saying anything to me. Was that for ratings?
It seemed like she exploited the situation.
Well, you just exploiting me. There are some sisters in this business that are bout it. Regina King was there that night. Angela Bassett was there that night. Lynn Whitfield was there that night. Kerry Washington was there that night. There are some sisters that are truly bout it because they sat back in those chairs. And they were looking like, what we know Monique ain't doing is lying. That's what we know she ain't doing. So when it comes to Oprah Winfrey, let me be clear so people, I'm a little black fat girl from Baltimore, Maryland. And I saw this fat black woman on a TV show called People Are Talking that was a local show. And she had big shoulders and a big bush and big feet like me. And I said, wow, when I grow up, that's what I want to do. And then we took a field trip to that studio. And I hugged that woman. And I said, when I grow up, Miss Winfrey, I want to do what you do. And she said, you know, you got to work really hard. So the day I walked out on that stage to the Oprah Winfrey show, and I was promoting Roscoe Jenkins. And after that show, that woman hugged me and said, when I look at you, I ain't doing nothing but looking at me. And then when I remind her that that's what she said to me, she says, oh, I say that to everybody. Well, then what does that make you? Everybody reminds you of you? Or do you just say things in the moment? So when I say to our community, I know Oprah Winfrey when the curtains are closed. I know her when the cameras aren't running. That's why Oprah Winfrey does not want to sit down publicly with me nor my husband to have a conversation, because within minutes, the community would know who Oprah Winfrey really was, because what she's not used to is anybody asking her any questions. I'm the deliverer. I'm the author. I'm the authority of all life and all beings, and I know it all. And someone would ask, why?
Some claim that Oprah Winfrey associates with influential and controversial people to expand her audience and strengthen her business connections. This approach has led to criticism that she prioritizes her own interests over the well-being of others. Recently, questions have arisen about her ties to Diddy after his unexpected arrest. Reports suggest that federal officials have linked Oprah to the case, alleging her involvement in human trafficking. This revelation has shocked both the media and the public. In response, Oprah's public relations team has stated that she is hospitalized due to complications from a weight loss drug, but many question if there's more to the story. Adding to the controversy, rumors have emerged accusing Oprah of involvement in harvesting children in Hawaii for alleged anti-aging purposes. Critics fear she may use a potential disability to avoid addressing accusations, including claims of exploiting children from her African school and serving elite interests. The parallels between Diddy and Oprah have raised concerns, as both have been accused of unethical behavior despite their polished images of success and philanthropy. Some believe that Oprah Winfrey and Diddy might be part of a hidden network that wields significant power in the entertainment industry. This raises concerns about their actions and the potential systemic issues that remain hidden. People are questioning their relationships and behavior, suspecting they might be working together to advance specific agendas within the industry. The exploitation of vulnerable individuals, especially children, adds to the confusion and distress. Such situations often involve trusted or admired figures, making it harder to comprehend the harm caused. Since Diddy's recent arrest, many are rethinking the warnings of Jaguar Wright, who had previously described troubling behavior at Diddy's events. Her claims of excess and exploitation were once dismissed as sensational or bitter, But the charges against Diddy are now prompting a reevaluation of her accounts. Jaguar has also spoken out about Oprah, suggesting that her polished public image hides darker truths. Similar to her claims about Diddy, Jaguar's criticisms of Oprah were often dismissed as baseless. However, as more allegations about influential figures emerge, these accusations are being taken more seriously. Jaguar has expressed concerns about Oprah's connections to questionable individuals and the ethics of her relationships, suggesting that beneath her image of success and charity lies a troubling reality. Despite being dismissed by many, Jaguar remains steadfast, believing the truth will eventually come to light. In interviews, she has highlighted the dark side of the entertainment industry, where success and power often overshadow accountability. Social media is now abuzz with reactions from fans and critics, questioning how figures like Oprah and Diddy can remain unscathed despite the gravity of the claims against them.
These people able to keep going on with the career.
What do you mean?
Doing these heinous crimes.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm just saying.
You ain't never had a boy that you know did a whole bunch of dirt and you let him make it? You telling me that never happened? You never had somebody in your life who you know was dirty, who you know did dirt, and you let them make it?
I see what you're saying, but...
Think about that on a corporate level.
Right.
On a corporate level. R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored in the United States. Everybody knew. That's why I couldn't really watch that documentary, because half of the people that was in there, I can't believe he did it. You used to go get the too. I watched you, dog.
The description of Oprah Winfrey's presence at Diddy's extravagant parties highlights the close relationship between these two influential figures. Her participation added a sense of prestige to these events, often attended by top industry executives, influencers, and celebrities. Their frequent appearances together, whether at celebrations or charity events, demonstrated a strong friendship and a shared commitment to philanthropy. However, such relationships can spark public curiosity and even criticism, especially when controversies arise around one or both individuals. The image of mutual support and collaboration they presented to the public invites both admiration and scrutiny. What are your thoughts on the nature of such high-profile relationships and their influence on the industry? Let's discuss. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Until next time, stay informed and keep it real.